In this video, we are going to learn about functions and graphs. So we will discuss how to assign real numbers, which is the coordinate, to each of the points on the line. We shall show as well how to assign an ordered pair, which is the ordered pair of x and y of real numbers to each point in the plane. And also, we will review about the Cartesian plane. So, the Cartesian plane consists of x and y axis. So we have the positive direction is upwards and to the right, and then the negative is going to the left and going down. So that is how you will know what will be the sign in the Cartesian plane or rectangular coordinate. So we have here in the first quadrant all values of x, which is the ordered pair. The ordered pair meaning x and y value. So we have x and y value here is positive, x and y value here, so we have x is negative and y is positive in quadrant number 2. Quadrant number 3, both are negative. And then in quadrant number 4, we have x is positive, y is negative. So first thing we will discuss or we'll know about the distance and the midpoint formula. The distance formula is used to find the distance between the 2 points in the coordinate plane or in the Cartesian plane, which is we have 2 different points, and then we will solve what is the distance between the 2 points. So the distance now is equal to the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So how will we solve for the distance now? Let's try some example. First, find the distance between point A, which is in 4 and 1, and B, point B is in 1 and 12. So both of them are in quadrant number 1 because both of them are positive. So we will get now as A is 4 and 8 and B is 1 and 12. So what is the distance formula? We will have now a square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and then just we have substitute the values there. So we can have now as 1 minus 4 squared plus 12 minus 8 squared. Whatever you're going to do there, if you're going to subtract, if it is squared, the result will be still a positive number. So therefore we will have 9 plus 16, which is now equal to square root of 25, and then square root of 25 is equals to 5. Therefore the distance between A and B is 5 units. Okay, next, find the distance between 2 and 7 and 11 and 9. And also letter B, 0.5 or negative 5 and 8, and point B, okay, here is 2 and negative 4. So try to pause the video and then try by yourself how you will solve for the distance between the two of them. So therefore, the distance now is equals to square root of 85. If you cannot simplify inside of the radicals, just leave radical. Just leave your answer that way. But if you can still simplify the value inside of the radical, please simplify in the simplest form. So the first one, the answer will be square root of 85. And then the next one, the answer is square root of 193. So now, let's go to find the midpoint of the 2 points. So what will be the midpoint? So midpoint is equals to x sub 2 plus x sub 1 divided by 2. Midpoint meaning the center of a line segment. And then the other one, y sub 2 and plus y sub 1 over 2. Okay, so let's try some example. Let's say we have the find the midpoint between A, point A is 4 and 12, and B is 1 and 1 and 12. A is 4 and 8, and B is 1 and 12. So using the distance formula, we will have now as x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2, y sub 2 plus y sub 1 over 2. So we will get as 1 plus 4 over 2, and then 12 plus 8 over 2. This one will resolve some of the problem will be in fraction form. So therefore, simplify your answer in the simplest fraction form. So we have here 5 over 2 and 10. So no need to simplify into the mixed fraction. Just leave your answer that way. So you will have now 5 over 2 and 10. Next one. Okay, try to pause the video again and then try to solve what will be the result of your solution, and then try to check if your answer is correct. So we will have letter A, point 1 is 2 and 7, point 2 is 14 and 9, and then letter B, negative 5 and 8, and point 2, 2 and negative 4. So the result will be, we have midpoint of A is 8 and 8, and then midpoint of B is negative 3 over 2, and we have 2. So therefore this one, which quadrant? This one is, both are positive, so therefore this one is in quadrant number 1. Quadrant number 1, so therefore the midpoint is positive. Here we have the point is in quadrant number 2, it's negative and positive. Here is positive and negative, so therefore this one is quadrant number 2 and quadrant number 4. So their midpoint now will give us a negative result as well. So therefore we have negative 3 over 2 and positive 2. So the next one is the equations of the circle. Standard equation of a circle, we will discuss as well about the definition of the circle. So circle is a set of points in a given distance from one point called the center. So we have the center of a circle, and then the distance from the center is called the radius. Okay, so the radius is from the point here going to any point of the circle. That is the radius of the circle. But if you are going to extend that one, that will be the diameter. So here you are going to find, or you are going to solve what will be the center of a circle and what will be the radius of a circle. So the center, or if the circle is at the origin, so therefore this one will be your equation. So x squared plus y squared equals to r squared, where r is the radius. Okay, so which is the center now is h and k. So h and k denoted as we have the value of the center, which is the value of x and y, right? So the origin, we have the x and y value here, which is in the origin of the table. Here in the graph, we have the origin which is in 0, 0. But here, we don't know which we can find the center of the circle. So therefore, the center of the circle denoted as h and k. So if the circle is not at the origin, so if the circle is not here in the 0, 0, how to find that one? So you have to find as x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. And then the center, to find the center is, it is the value of h and k. Okay, let's try some examples how to solve for the center of a circle and then how to find the radius of a circle. So therefore, you are going to solve for r is the square root of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, which is h and k is the value of, we have the value in the center of the circle, and then x and y, which is any point of the circle. Okay, any point on the circle right here, any point from the center going to this point. Okay, let's try some examples. For example, the center is at negative 5 and 0, and the radius is 4 or 4.8. So therefore, what you're going to do is to find that one. So the center is negative 5 and 0. So therefore that is negative 5h here, and then we have 0 in k, and then radius is 4.8. So we can find as x minus negative 5 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals to 4.8 squared. So therefore we can form now the equation of a circle is x plus 5 squared plus y squared equal to 23.04. Okay, so that is how you will write the equation of the circle. Next, how about the center of a circle is at 4 and negative 3, and the point now here, so you are looking for the radius. The radius is not given. The point on the circle is at 2 and 1. So therefore you will have now h and k, x and y. So just only substitute. So therefore 2, which is the value of x, negative 1 is the value of y. So therefore 2 minus 4 plus 1 minus negative 3 squared to find the radius of the circle. So you will have now as 4 plus 16 equals to r squared. So therefore your r now is equals to, we have r squared is equals to 20. Or you can have now as your r is equals to 20. Okay? If you will try to find the value of the r here, so therefore you will have now r squared. This one is the value of r squared, right? So to find the r there, the radius is just only square root of 20, which is 4 square root of, okay, 2 square root of 5. Okay, so the result there will have now, if you are going to solve for the radius, because this one is r squared, so therefore if you are going to find the r is equals to, we have the square root of 20, right? Okay, so and then simplify that one, so therefore you have 4 times 5, that is 2 square root of, we have 5. Next, given the equation of the circle, x minus 13 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals to 5 squared. Tell if the point is inside or outside the circle. How will we know if it is inside or outside the circle? So let's try. So if it is greater, then it is outside the circle. If it is less, then it's inside the circle. If it is equal, so therefore it is on the circle. So given that 5 and 6, which is now 5 minus 13 squared plus 6 minus 6 squared, which gives us 64. And then 64 is greater than 25, right? 64 is greater than, so therefore the point 5 and 6 is outside of the, okay, so therefore here greater than outside of the circle. How about 14 and 8? So you try to check that one here in the equation. If this one will be equal, again, if this one is equal on the circle, if less inside, and then if greater than, then it is outside the circle. So therefore you will have inside, and then 20 and 9, it is outside also. So that is how you will get now if the point is outside, inside, or on the circle. Let's try some example on how to solve some of the equations of the circle. Let's try to solve this equation. So finding an equation of a circle. Find an equation of a circle that has a center. The center is in point negative 2 and 3. Okay, so point negative 2 and 3, and contains the point D at 4 and 5. So therefore the equation of a circle is equals to x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. Or we can solve for r now because we have the center h and k, right? So the center of the circle, which is the h and k value, and then we have the x and y. So therefore we can solve now r is equals to the square root of okay, x minus h. So therefore you will have 4 minus negative 2 squared, okay, plus we have y, which is the value y is 5, minus 3 squared to find the value of our r, okay. So therefore you will get now as equal to, this one is negative, so therefore 4 minus 2, negative 2 is 6, so 6 squared is 36, so therefore that is 36 plus 4, okay. So therefore you will have now as r is equals to square root of 40. Okay, when you're going to write that one in the equation, so you will have now as x, okay, x r h is negative 2, so therefore that is plus 2, okay, squared, and then after that you will have plus y minus k is 3 squared, okay, equal to, we have square. If you square that one, so that is equal to, we have 40, right? We are going to square that side. So r is equals to r, this one is the r value. So if we are going to find the r squared now, so therefore that becomes 40. Now, what is the original value for this one if you are going to solve for this one? So therefore you are going to square, so you will get now as x squared, okay, so x squared, right, x squared plus 4x, okay, plus 4 plus y minus 3 times y minus 3, so therefore you have y squared minus 6y plus 9 minus 40 equal to 0. Okay, so this one will be the equation. Therefore you will have now as x squared, okay, x squared plus y squared, so this one is 9, okay, so we'll just write this one is 9, okay, and then we simplify the value. We have 4 and 9, that is equal to 13, so therefore you will have as this one negative 27, and then we get as plus 4x and then minus 6y minus 27 equal to 0. So we can write now in the last equation, so we can simplify your answer as this way, okay. So this one now will be the original equation, which gives us x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y minus 27 equal to 0. So this one now is the equation of the circle. Let's try another problem. This problem, you're going to find now the center and the radius of the circle. How we will find the center and the radius of the circle? So first thing we'll do is you have to check if everything, we need to make this one in the form of x minus h squared plus, okay, y minus k, right, squared equal to r squared. So that will be our equation. So we will try to make this equation that's given into this form so that we can find the h and k and then the value of r. So first thing you will do is everything is divisible by 3, so you have to divide everything by 3. So we can have now as x squared plus y squared minus 4x, okay, minus 4x plus 6y, okay, equal to 3. And then what we're going to do, how to do completing the square. So first thing you will do is group. So we have x squared minus 4x plus, so that we can complete the square, okay, and then after that you will have to write plus y squared, okay, plus 6y plus, okay, whatever you will add here to complete the equation equals to 3 plus the one that you're going to add in the value of x plus whatever you're going to add in the value of y. So therefore, how to complete the square? We are going to divide the coefficient here, k over 2, right? So therefore, you have 4 over 2. And then you can get now as here, we have k over 2 squared, which is 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared, so we'll get 4. And then here we have 6 divided by 2 is, we have 6 divided by 2, going back to completing the square. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is equals to 9. So therefore, we'll add 4 and 9. This one now is a complete square, which gives us x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equal to, we get now here as 16. Okay, so here we get 16, and then we're going to square that one, so r squared, so you will get as 14, right? Here, if you're going to square this one, square root of 16 is equals to 4. So you can have now to draw we have the solution. So therefore, your h now, your h, okay, your h is positive 2, okay, so we will make that one. H is equal to 2, and your y, or your k now, k is equal to negative 3. Why it becomes negative? Because x minus, right? X minus h, therefore negative 2. Here is plus, right? So negative times negative becomes positive. That is the reason why k is equals to negative 3. So therefore, this is in quadrant number 4, negative and a positive value. So what will be the radius? So this one is r squared, right? So the radius now is equals to r squared equals to 16, which is r is equals to square root of 16. The radius is equals to positive 4. So that is how you will find now the center and the radius of a circle. Opposite to the other one that we discussed, that the equation is already given. The center and then the center and the radius is given. So what you're going to do, you have to find what will be the original equation. So that one will be in the form of 3x squared plus 3y squared minus 12x plus 18y equals 9. So if you have questions and clarifications, so don't forget to email, and then we will explain more further to you how you will get or how you will find the center and the radius of a circle.